All right, so we're just getting ready for the morning prep here. And we'll be looking at ES futures. So again, we start about 8:30. You guys all know that. But I'm trying to send out the morning node here. And so the first thing I like to look at is ES futures, just kind of take a look at our blueprint and see how things are going. We had some nice signals overnight, a little bit of choppiness here and there, but overall, some great moves on the ES futures. You can see we're actually hitting the trendy edge as we speak. We kind of pushed up into that next target and kind of pulling back. That's what we expect. So again, futures opening up into resistance. Clear my throat. Sorry about that. It's the butterfly cup this morning. I've been using these for I think over 5 years now. They're kind of silly, but they kind of correlate to the market, you know. So this type of market, maybe we'll see some butterfly action today. We'll see. Oh, wait a minute. I already have SPX butterflies on, so that makes sense, right? I didn't plan it that way. I promise. So anyways, here's ES futures coming up into our resistance. So the first thing I see there, let's go ahead and talk about our expected range. We obviously need to change this. I could tell right away what I'll be looking at. So we're going to point up here towards this resistance. And now we are creating some demand right here. So I'm going to take this green box and move it. All right, so identify this area. We're going to use some fibs too, just here in a second. I'm going to take out this red just so it doesn't scare anybody. And we're going to move this level here. And we're going to find candle structure, and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here in a second. It's right there. Yeah, let's do it about right here actually. Today could be a little bit choppy. We have some Fed speakers and so forth. So let's get that expected range. That's what we're working on right now. And the way that I find this is by using candle structure, trendy edges, Fibonacci's. All right, and basically put all those together, and then you come up with really high probability. And I have to say, I think the members here would agree that our expected range is probably hit. It probably has a win ratio, I guess you could say, or an accuracy ratio of probably over 90%, which is really helpful in understanding, not to get too exuberant sometimes, it kind of keeps you in your place where you need to be as far as trading goes. All right, so when I look up and to the left, you can see I have a sell signal for myself, and I look over here, and that is confluent with a double inside and down. So also we have the 200 average here, daily average here, SMA. I think that's it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the 200-day right above here, which is also confluent with this red box. So I really like this area right here, far as resistance goes. And then our support, what I'm looking at are several different things as well. We have triple inside and up, and then we have a cloud. All right, and so that cloud is support, the triple inside and up. And then what else do we have going on there? Well, let's throw some Fibonacci's on really quick. So from this rally that starts right here, from the pivot low into the pivot high, we could see that this green box also is in line with the trendy bullish channel. So both of these zones, very high probabilities that we have an expected range there today. So I'm very excited about that. All right. And let me look at my phone really quick. I got so many screens to look at. I want to make sure we don't have any issues going on right now. And this is my office. If anybody's wondering, I have a big setup that's in front of me, and then I have another setup on the left-hand side of me that has just as many screens. And I like to, when I'm exercising or working out, I'm able to monitor from different angles. I got the Peloton on my right hand side, where when I ride, I can look at my screens over to the left and get a visual. A lot of times I try to keep my eyes off though, where my focus is primarily trading, right? So uh, people always ask, so in the background, that's our kitchen in there. This office is actually pretty big. I think this is about a 300 square foot room, maybe 250, somewhere in there. Some of you guys have been in here, overlooks the water, so it's very difficult sometimes, right? So when you're doing well, is there really a reason to stay in the office? Of course, if there's people that are asking or need information, I'm always here to answer those. And what's really cool, I love TradingView because my scripts are on the phone. So if I'm on the go, I'm able to look and see my signals and stuff like that while I'm out. So that makes life a lot easier. And we transitioned there to TradingView, what, about 4 months ago, 4 to 5 months ago or so. So pretty pumped. All right, let's get this here. And I apologize to anybody that might have been watching me yesterday. I literally, my microphone was off. And not only while I was live, but I did a really cool another education video for our members here. And sorry, guys. So that whole thing about identifying levels of demand or when you're going short, we were doing Disney. That the whole session was not, there was no audio. So I might have to do that over. All right, so notes really quick. Let's talk about this ES futures expected range. I'm going to duplicate this line and bring it up to about right here. So for right now, I'm going to say expected range. Uh, 4487.5. Now you guys know I do have a butterfly on for a 4500 pin. So I'm going to make that 4500. Target on open would be 4487. And our support, mid support is going to be 4465. So it means on open, if we get that dip, I'd expect buyers to come in there. If you don't trade futures, don't leave. Okay, futures, ES futures are just my blueprint that I like to use for the entire market to kind of keep us on the right side, not kinda, to keep us on the right side of the trade. So mid support is about 4465, and just for anybody that's watching, again, this right here is expected target on open, and then expected range up towards 4500, and the 4516, I wouldn't expect us to get over that. This is going to be my mid range, which is one of the trendy edges. And so we have that. And then far as support goes, our expected range to the downside, I'm going to go ahead and place this right here. And I don't like the way that looks, so give me 1 second. Take that off. There we go. We're going to bring this down to about right there. Same thing with this. I don't like when my lines are not in line. There we go. Good, that looks great. I'm going to take these off, clean it up a little bit. And that's our blueprint for today. Okay, so let me go ahead and post this. There we go. That one's beautiful. I like that. Yeah, I really like that. All right. And my butterfly is for the 4500 pin. Now, obviously, I don't have to wait all day. I could probably close that for profits. We'll go over Netflix here in a minute, and I'll give you my plan for selling the put side there on open. But so far, everything's kind of happening the way we wanted it to. And by the way, we put out our free broad market analysis out there after the fact. So today's Wednesday, but just so you guys can see what we're doing and how I prep trendy trading here over the weekend before the market opens. Very important. So we're all on the right side of the trade. And this week was we were looking for support and for a red to green and then start the cycle up from 2 to 4 days. And we are doing exactly that, guys. And we are on our third day here on Wednesday. So very cool. All right, and the next thing, just give you my plan really quick. My plan's going to be very simple. I was supposed to meet with Chamber of Commerce today for an event um, with my wife, and we were going to, well, we still are. We're going to be offering a few memberships. They're doing like a raffle, and Ashley's going to be selling some artwork, which is really cool. So, so we'll manage Netflix. And then, as far as my positions, I kept it really light coming into this morning. So I have Netflix, SPX, and I think that's it. Any of you guys hold on to Microsoft? Let's see what they're doing this morning. Yeah, they're up $3, guys. So, I mean, you're getting closer to in the money if some of you guys held that. If so, cool. All right, far as the setup today, again, ES futures, advancers. I showed you guys why that was important yesterday, and hopefully you were able to use that and capitalize on the use of advancers. And obviously, this is just one tool, but that was helping us on a choppy day. Okay, not so important for me today as it was yesterday. Just giving you that. Okay. All right, manage Netflix and SPX and watch. And if any of my members want to watch me on YouTube, you can do that instead of watching me here if it's easier for you, if you're at work or something like that. Yeah, let's just make sure everything's good over here. And those little noises in the background, which you're hearing there, are my alerts. So we have pretty advanced alerts. My alerts come straight from my brokerage account for three of my alert channels: spreads, swings, and smaller account. And then I have auto alerts for futures using our methodology and our signals. And then SPX alert channel as well using that methodology as well. And then we have just what is called an auto alert. So anything that I'm watching for the day. So like yesterday, we took Disney, Microsoft. Um, had a few trades yesterday that worked very well, but we set those up on our auto alerts as well. And let's see, can actually bring this out of the way. And I'll have these SPX alerts right here for today. And these are auto, and they give a stop. All my alerts, these auto alerts have stops on them. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I was just kind of rambling there before we get started. Today is the 20th of April, 420. 420, we have Tesla earnings today. 420, right? That makes a lot of sense. what else is going on today? Well, let's go ahead and read what I'm about to send out to you guys. All right. And then we'll get started. Just like that. All right, so first thing first, again, today is 4:20. It's 8:02 Central Time here in Florida. 10:30 a.m. These are Eastern Time. We have Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago President Charles Evans before the Peterson Institute of International Economics. 11:25 Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco speaking before the Center of Business and Economic Research. And let's see here, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic. Okay. Basically, those things are going on. So we got Fed speakers, 3 Fed speakers that I can see. Maybe there's more. Just giving you a little bit of that information so that you understand that there could be a little bit of volatility. Now, that is just a catalyst. And here at Trendy Trading, we use levels and technicals before we consider those type of catalyst. All right. So the levels are there before the catalyst. The catalyst is just something that creates volatility or creates a move into one of the trendy edges or the boxes you see on my screen. Anything that's above the price is resistance until proven otherwise. Anything below is support until proven otherwise. I'm using supply and demand. I'm using Fibonacci's and I'm using my trendy edges. All right, so as you can see, and if you don't, I'm going to go ahead and go over some hindsight with you guys, okay? Hindsight in the fact that it's already happened, but we did coach very well off of these levels, so please understand that. Our levels are here. They are concrete. They are not moving. They are here anywhere from 1 year to a month to a week to a day before price gets there. We have levels for all types of traders, whether it be scalp trading all the way up to leap trading. Notice that price has come down into one of our trendy edges, this pink dotted line. We waited for reclaims before we wanted to get serious, but we understood that the cloud was above us. And every time price has come up into the cloud, it was rejecting during this cycle down. This is pretty straightforward. Once we moved and we could hold inside the cloud then became support, and we waited for price to move above the cloud. Notice that price reclaimed this week's weekly edge, and we pushed up very nicely, and now we're holding the edge as support. Now guess what? We've created this nice little demand level here. Price is moving off of this level into the next trendy edge, which is resistance until proven otherwise. So this is a nice move for us, right? So we're currently up about 17 points or so. And this is indicative of, this is just levels. So yesterday we were concerned about Netflix, or were we? I wasn't concerned about Netflix. We're going to make good money off of Netflix on that position for the move down. But I think that the first reaction in the market is obviously to pull back. But if you've been trading as long as I have, then you understand that Netflix is not going to bring down the market, folks. All right. So the broad market, macro look, I don't think you need to be concerned about Netflix bringing down the market. All right, this is earnings season. It's like Christmas. We have a lot of stuff that's coming up. All right, a lot of different factors going on out there. Note that we are opening into resistance. This goes for the entire market. If we are opening into resistance, just be patient on open. We have a couple tools and tricks to help us, and we'll go over that just here in a few minutes. Your blueprint for today. Expected range on the ES futures, again, 10 points for every dollar. Say every 10 points in the ES equals $1 in the SPY. Expected range today is 4,500. Target on open would be 44.87. Mid support is 44.65. And as you can see, your resistance is 44.78 and a quarter right now. Okay. My butterfly that I currently have on is for the pin for 4,500. But please understand that I do not need to hold towards the end of the day. All right. If it's profitable, I can choose to take profits when I want to. The next thing is we want to talk about Netflix. Let's go ahead and get over here into Netflix. What is the plan for this morning? All right, well, this thing broke some people's heart. That's what the whole idea of the heart on here was about yesterday. Now, when I did this, I did it live, and I showed you guys two different levels that Netflix could go to. There's a couple things here. This is my favorite way to play earnings. Okay, if I choose to play earnings, this is my number one go-to. And matter of fact, I'm really surprised that 95% of people do not approach earnings this way, because to me, this is kind of like that holy grail. I mean, it really is. And the way that we look at this is we go to higher time frames, we figure out and look at trendy levels, okay? And we look at supply and demand. We look at some Fibonacci, just like I set up every blueprint. And then I come up with the levels where price is higher probability for price to move back into those zones. So my next step is to look at what the market makers are looking at. Okay, this is really important. So when I sent out this blueprint yesterday to the room and also to Twitter, I wanted to really give you guys an idea of where the market makers think price is going and where Trendy thinks market price is going. Okay, so notice the difference here. Your blue line is what was expected for the market makers. They're saying, hey, the move was supposed to be like 35 bucks or something. Okay, well, they were way off. All right, and so I was able to capture the right areas. And what I do is I actually trade both sides of this with debit spreads. Okay, so it's kind of like an iron condor, but with debit spreads, right? So I'm buying these levels down here on the puts, and I'm selling against it as well. And up here, I'm buying this spread as well. So what I'd like to do on open to make this very quick and easy to understand is sell on open my profits, and then I'll buy back the short side of this box here. Now, it's very, very low probability that Netflix will turn around and move all the way back up to here. But you know what? I've seen crazier. And at the end of the day, the lower level, it should pay pretty well. It's not only going to pay for both sides, but it's probably going to pay for, 3 to 4 times that. So just let's wait until we open up here. But again, the idea is to take profits here, okay? And then up here, if you think about it, what happened is you buy the calls, okay? That doesn't look good. Buy the calls here, and then I sold calls here. What I end up doing is closing this spread, making money. And then the next thing I do is close this short side. And then if for some crazy reason Netflix decides to move, maybe they have some kind of announcement and it starts to move up, what happens is this starts to gain value. Now at this point, I would not expect this thing to gain value, but again, you never know. All right, it's a free trade. So that's how I plan on approaching Netflix on open. And right now, these guys are down at $249 or down $98. All right, so that's Netflix. Let's go over here and check out a couple other things. We had Twilio. What an amazing move, right? And I just want to go over this again, right? So we put this out there, put it out there for you to trade, put it out there for the world to see. And I just want to go over it so everybody understands why we traded it, why it worked, and so forth. Now, everybody's going to have different reasons why they think something worked. One person's going to say, well, there was news. The other person's going to say, well, it was just a bullish day and they did a mandate on mask and the market went up. Here at Trendy, I make it quite simple. We erase all that, don't think about it, and just use it as a catalyst that moves price into your levels. Notice that price came down not only into a gap fill, but our trendy edge that had been sitting here for several weeks. We were waiting for price to come back to here. And once price got here, we executed the trade. And check it out. Our target was here. Notice where price closed yesterday. Again, very nice trade plan. Before anyone's wait or doesn't have a plan, we're waiting. We created the target before others figured that out. And then we're selling into these levels. Okay? Very nice. Entry. can close anywhere up here to make profits. Where could Twilio go now? And where are they? They're up $1.33. They're at the first target, which was resistance. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. And now we're trying to get above there. If you're into clouds and you like intraday setups, watch this one for a break of the cloud. If we break above the cloud, and we are then looking for 149.75, 152.07, and 156. Again, support for today is going to come in between 143 and 145.85. 145.85 and 143. To make this easier for you, we can just create a box, okay? And come down to the 143 level, which is about right there. And that is your box. If you're not in it, this could also be an entry on reclaim. Looks just like that. So again, what we're doing is we're taking resistance, now becoming support, and I would like to see it break above this cloud, but please understand it is opening up into resistance. Let's go ahead and go over Microsoft. We took this trade as well. All right, same exact setup. I waited very patiently. All right, we came here pre-market into the zone that I pushed out last week. All right, we had to wait for that zone. Yesterday, we waited, we watched it, we executed, we did very well. And then I rolled into what some would consider an out-of-the-money lotto. I closed before the close because of Netflix earnings. Okay, I knew that I already had positions on, and if I hit those on Netflix, I really didn't need any other positions. So on a positive side, just happy that I'm in Netflix. Microsoft is up 245. Okay, so it's at 287.75. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This is the 4-hour. You can see exactly where it is. Please understand, once again, you are in a cloud. Okay, so you're in resistance, just like the rest of the other three things that I've shown you. We're opening up into resistance. I like that. It's okay. I prefer that. I'd like a little pullback, look for buyers to step in, and then we will take a trade from there. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at let's see here. We want to go to a smaller time frame, right? We want to be watching SPX today, right over here. SPX alerts, right? Here they are. Check it out. Our last alert was to buy SPX, guys, right? So if you're coming in this morning, looking pretty good. There were some amazing alerts yesterday, but let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, same thing. It's going to look a lot like the ES future as far as the 4-hour is concerned. Let's clean this up so you can see we're getting above the cloud. We're above the cloud right now, and there's gap fill up and to the left at 44.87. Okay, 44.87. So your big pivot today, bulls, what you really need to do is gain some value over 45.07. 45.07, and you can see there's this shelf here of candle structure. So if I come over this right there and draw a line, basically we're going to gap up, and this is going to be a neutral area for you. All right, as long as you can build value in this box, let it do its thing. It might be choppy today with the Fed. You want to see a flag start being built. Then you could get that breakout, and then your targets here are 45.68 going into the rest of earnings, and then I think we settle down for a couple days. All right, that's what I'm looking at. All right, is there anything that you guys would like to see that I have not covered yet? Underdog, you're in here. Would you like to take a look at BA, man? We can look at BA as well. They've been doing pretty well. We'll see what's going on there. All right, so SPX, again, we're in that. We'll wait for some alerts to come up here and see what we get. We could check future alerts really quick. Let's see what's going on over there. All right, so a little bit of pullback. It looks like I got 2 sell alerts on ES a couple times now. So it looks like 44, 44, 77, 75. Got it. Take a look there. Definitely, I like to ignore alerts right before the open as it gets pretty volatile at times. Let's look over here at BA. Oh yeah, we had Disney. Nice trade as well. Um, Sold Disney pretty quickly. I think this went over, what, 100, 200% for you guys. But overall, and then they had a pullback. And the reason why I got a question last night, hey John, why is Disney pulling back? And that was because of streaming. You know, Netflix streaming, Disney. I think a lot of people forget sometimes Disney's very broad. Disney is actually, they stream. So they took a little hit there. Anyways, on BA, this chart actually looks really good as far as a 4 hour is concerned. Current price, let's see where we at. We're up 82 cents. This is also building a nice stair stepping, right? Right here, stairs, boom, boom, here. And just look for this area in here to hold, and then we should see a move up towards the 190 level. But right in here, I'd be careful. Okay, right there, there's a lot of supply. So let's go ahead and just mark this really quickly for you guys. So BA will definitely be something that I'm watching. So I'm going to go up to the accelerator. So just about right here. Yep. And there it is. We already drew this up for you guys. So there you are. Boom. But there's a possibility of 190 in here. So let me pull this right about there. All right, so we'll definitely watch this. I'm going to we need to figure out where you want support if you take this trade or a stop. So let's do a couple things here. I'm going to use the cloud in this case, and I'm going to use the edges. Don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm not going to break it down a ton for you. But right here, entry, and let's get rid of this one. Your support is right here at the edge. So could do right there. And then let's go ahead and grab one of these. Bring it right there. All right, so what we'd be looking for is if we get a slight pullback in the market, I would like to see it come in here and then buy calls for this range up in here. Okay, that's the plan. I'm not sure it's going to pull back. Well, it might pull back that much. You know, let me draw some arrows here for you guys just so that you understand. Okay, and then just like that. Let me take this line in the sand off. If you can see a little bit better. There we go. And I'm going to put this in focus for this morning. All right, so when I do this on focus on BA, what I want to do is set up an alert. Also want to come over here to my alerts and turn off, like I'm out of Disney, right? And again, guys, please make sure you're paying attention to, we have straight from my brokerage account, tells you what positions I have open. All right, so you need to check there. I only have 2 positions open, I believe. So you just check there to see what's in my account. All right. And let's see, this is Disney. There we go. Turn this off. And I'm going to pull this to a 5-minute. And I'm going to create alert system for us for BA. That makes it really easy so I don't have to watch the charts all day. So we'll have BA, we took out Disney. Good morning, GS. Good morning, Nick. Morning Abundance, Trader, Perfect K, Mama Bull, M Bull, and Mama Bull. You guys are like on the same page right here. Morning Geo, Austin, Berto. Who else is in here? Tex, Solly, welcome. Mr. I'm smarter than you. I like that. Con, what's going on, guys? Let's Gav. Yep. You guys are awesome, man. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you guys are really taking the time to really appreciate the focus we have coming into today. I'll tell you something, not just today, sorry, this week. Um, I was kind of joking around. It's interesting to see so many people. They came in with this week with new plans. It's kind of like this theme that I'm seeing on Twitter, right? Everybody has these new rules, but that's okay. I'm glad that everybody's on the same page, right? People are tired of getting beat up, and so I think it's really important. I wanted to bring to your attention though that it's not as easy. You know, it's one thing to come in and be like, okay, so I think we hit all of our trades for winners yesterday. And I think the day before. So you could look at the market and say, oh, the market's like on our side, but you still have to understand how to read the market, right? So some people are still stuck in their bearish ways and they have a hard time executing. So one, you have to give yourself, you know, a pat on the back for taking the courage to take a trade in a market that's not been easy. The second thing is after you win several trades, it's difficult to slow down sometimes. You know, people's egos, right, increase. You feel like, oh man, I'm the best in the world. All of us experience that. I'd be sitting here lying to you if I said I had zero ego. But just understand that you have some of that. But you're even stronger as a trader if you can just simply control yourself. Control yourself. In most cases, the reason why you can't control yourself is because you're not trading big enough, as in the point that I'm not saying that you need to trade big. It means that you're not going big enough for yourself to feel satisfied. That's what I'm thinking. So when it's the right time to press on the gas, you're still hesitant. So you see that you're making money, but you're not happy with the amount of money that you're making. So that's why one of the number one rules coming into this week was allocation, even if it's a stair step for you. So this week, if you just said that every trade you're going to take, you're going to put $100 into it. Fair enough. You feel really good. Let's look at it at the end of the week and then assess. Next week, if you want to bump that up to 150, just keep every trade at the same amount. Okay? I think that is the biggest issue in here with us and with anybody that's out there. Okay? You grade your system, and so you say, hey, I'm going to do 0.5% on this. I'm going to do 5% on this. The 5% goes down, the 0.5% goes up to 100%. That's where you're missing out. So just keep the same allocation, keep those rules, and then don't be in a hurry to judge yourself. You have to understand this is a cycle. You must stick to your rules, and at the end of the week, go back and assess. And if you love those results, you can add on a little bit. Okay? Maybe you put too much money in trades this week and you got out too quickly. So next week, what you can say is, okay, I'm going to just pull back a little bit because what I found is that I put too much money in these trades and then I get out too quickly. All right? But at the end of the day, keep the same allocation. Let's stop grading our trades. All right? The market doesn't care about my ACDC. The market doesn't care about your rising wedge. You know, like all these different things, they all have different probabilities. They all change and you cannot control them. The only thing that you control before we open up in 4 minutes is the ability to manage your losses. That is what you can control. Nothing else. Okay? Whether you want to take a 30% loss, whether you want to say, I don't want to get out unless candles start closing underneath an EMA cloud, or whether you say to yourself, I'm okay with this going to zero. And that's okay too, as long as that number fits your risk tolerance. We're all different. I'm not here to tell you what that risk tolerance number is. You have to figure it out. It's a journey. But the one thing that I want you to concentrate on this week, for the 10th time, it's the same allocation for every trade. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Okay? If you have any questions outside of the things that I'm looking at trading, okay? So I've only simply went over BA this morning and Netflix and SPX. If there's something else that you want to see, these are the times you need to bring them up, is when you come in here live. All right? And if I can give you my opinion, that makes me feel better because I'm here to serve you, right? That's what I'm doing. I serve you. I'm your waiter. Hey, would you like some SPX? Right? What would you like on top of that? 100%? 200%? What can we do for you? Maybe a loss, right? Who goes and asks for a loss? Not many. Yeah, I'd like some Tesla, please. Exactly. Yeah. So we're trying to, I want to, on our alert system, hopefully here soon, everything's from my brokerage account, but we want like a ratio that pops out at the end of the day. And I think we're working on that. That tells you like how many trades were taken and what the win loss ratio is. Remember, you could still lose and lose more percentage and still make more money, like today, right? If you happen to take Netflix and you make 700%, but you lost on two trades, you actually only won one out of three, you can still make more money. It just kind of depends. But again, allocation is key there, you know. So we're going to move over to this page here. I'm going to type in BA. We're going to watch things from a perspective of using, give me 1 second. There we go. The pre-market zone. So we're using trendy indicators, pre-market zone, 5-minute charts, buy signals, sell signals, looking at the line in the sand. Let's see, Boeing. Make sure we're all on the same page here. And then we can watch Tesla if you want to. Really, I'm only focused on two different names here. So this one on the right hand side, I think I'm gonna keep the cues on here, guys, for right now. Hey, good luck, everyone. All right, so Netflix, we're up like 800%. I can't remember what it was, like how much I could make from this, but I'll just put in an order. Let's see. Does anybody remember what the max payout was on this? I don't actually remember. Oh, there we go. Boom. 788%. So if you keep the same allocation, right, then you just took care of like so many trades. Yeah. All right, guys. Q's coming into the gap fill right here. And don't forget our look. Let's see. Let's see. What else do we got going on? And this is what you want on butterflies, by the way, for like SPX. You want this to happen. So you want my levels to work here. We want to pull back. So if you're on a butterfly for the day, you actually want time decay. You don't want to break past our pin and just keep going. You want to hit levels, come in, kill some theta, or sorry, kill some premium, and then from there, just kind of. And what you'll notice is if we can sit under 4,500 for half the day, this will start increasing in value. So you don't want to drop too much and you don't want to increase too much. Just a nice even kill. All right, so let's see what's going on. I'm finished for the day if I want to be. Um, as far as rules go, the way I look at it is I just hit 700 or I just hit 7 trades at 100%. Actually, almost 8, literally. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Happy to see that. Yeah. Oh, I have this on future. Sorry, guys. I need to put this on SPX alerts. So for anybody that's wondering, so like, you know, SPX alerts here. Sorry. What time did that come in? 8:35. So yesterday, what is really interesting, guys, is yesterday on Disney when we were going over that short setup, when we were going over the short setup, it worked perfectly, right? Isn't that pretty crazy? Remember, it was a short at the trendy edge, which is really right there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, man. So this is when we entered. But look at that. Oh man. You can't make this stuff up, right? So the catalyst was Netflix. And let's see here. By the way, I need to close the short side. I don't think I could have made much more than that on Netflix. I think we were pretty much maxed out there, guys. Maybe 10x, but that was close enough. All right, so bought back the short side of the call side. That would take a miracle. So I wouldn't even like, you know, worry about that. All right, SPX about 80%, I think. Maybe we're dipping a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. So for Boeing, we are getting out of the PMZ here. Okay. And we'll probably go small account with this. I've already made the day. I'm good. And let's see, 190. See if we can get past this. Yeah, Walmart. Walmart doing its thing. Let's see, up $2. Week is an inside and up. I like that. We're getting an actual buy signal. Um, GS on Walmart for the week. Nice channel. I mean, to me, it looks like it's just getting started, but what do I know? And we need to get some sort of Fibonacci extensions on here. I mean, to me, this one makes more sense. It's already at the 23. It looks like it could hit 160.70. This target up pretty big too. Oops. BA to red. That was quick. What do we got? ES 14 points, 15 points. And let's look. Walmart, possible 161 to 165. And let me go over here to BA. Right at the trendy edge right there. All right. And then we'll see if some buyers step in here. It's still early in the morning. First 30 minutes is going to be like. Let's see, Q's pulling back. And let's see, anything else that I want to look at? Let's go over here to, see this here. SPY into resistance at 447, which was T2. And then Q's, what do we hit? T1, T2, almost T3, and a pullback. Okay. And let's look at Netflix. I haven't actually watched it this morning. Jeez. I mean, okay. So what do we do? What do we do from here on Netflix on a big pullback like this? This should be like one of your favorite setups. You know, you have to bring it over to a quarterly chart. So I'm going to do a recording. Hopefully this thing will go down. For BA, just going to let it sit there for a few. This is for small account, small trades. I'll sit here and wait for the market, see if we get some sort of buying activity. Notice that the advancers are coming down into the 2000 line. Not quite there. It's still a buy the dip scenario. So we'll just keep taking a look. Remember, we're opening up into resistance. So, all right. So we're going to come over here to a quarterly. Let me go ahead and record this really quick.